afternoon, everyone. Great to be here. Thank you, CTIA, for having me. My name is Mathias Riback. I head up advanced technology for Ericsson here in the US, based out of Silicon Valley, but happy to be here in DC today. So I'm going to talk, maybe not surprisingly, about the future of networks, but also how these networks will be a foundational pillar of what we call the intelligent fabric. AI, cloud, and mobile coming together and fueling a lot of new use cases that we will talk about a little bit later. But I will start with where we are with connectivity today and where we are going. So we see the path to 6G as an evolutionary journey, stepwise journey, starting with 5G that we have today, an excellent foundation, but we have a lot to still achieve with 5G in the coming years until we get to 6G. And this is scaling the mobile platform into new verticals. We need to monetize 5G with differentiated connectivity, and we need to unleash the power of the networks to developers through network APIs. And all this is actually happening. We are scaling the mobile platform to new verticals. We see fixed wireless access happening. We see 5G being picked up more and more in defense and other mission-critical areas. Differentiated connectivity is also starting to happen on a global scale. We see operators with more and more differentiated offerings. We see slicing coming to life. We see slices for first responders getting the connectivity that they need so desperately when it's as most critical. We see slices for video calling applications or point-of-sales terminals, making sure that these applications get the connectivity that they need when they need it. Then for network APIs, this is the way for unleashing all the greatness of the networks to developers. And this is also now scaling. We have our joint venture, Aduna, together with global operators, that is now scaling these APIs across geographical borders, across operators, so it becomes a truly global platform with hyperscale. So we have network APIs like SIM swap, number verification, quality on demand, now scaling globally. And US here is, of course, one of the early adopters where we see this coming to life now. So all of this is happening. At the same time, we are already in the AI-powered 5G era. AI is in everything that we do, from how we design our products, how we code, how we test, how we deliver, and of course also in how we can get more performance out of the networks. So already today we have live features, especially here in the US, as an example, with AI-powered link adaptation and other features that are now AI-driven already out in the networks today. So this is also happening as we speak. Then AI is also foundational in how we can take networks to the next level of autonomy. So we have TM Forum defining these different stages of autonomy. And already today we have some early adopters around the globe that together with Ericsson are on network autonomy level 4. And this will of course continue when we go into the truly AI native 6G. There we see that this will be a fully autonomous networks, of course driven by AI, and of course a lot of new performance coming from 6G. And here uplink will be more critical than ever, and I will come back to that on the next slide. But to fuel all these new things in 6G, we also need new spectrum, as we have discussed here earlier today. We will need that for the services we have today, the mobile services, the fixed wireless access, but also new services like sensing and integrated sensing and communication. And sensing is actually happening already now in 5G as well. Just some weeks ago, we had a demo in our headquarters in Texas showing how with today's 5G gear can detect flying drones with the 5G network equipment. So this is happening already in 5G. When we come into 6G, it will be fully integrated into a joint communication and sensing platform. And new spectrum is needed for that as well. And then, as we will come into on the next slide as well, this new spectrum will also fuel all the new AI use cases. And we do have a good spectrum pipeline here in the US identified. Now we need to execute on that together as an industry. Also, when we come to 6G, we will see what we call differentiated connectivity today, services getting the connectivity that they need. This will happen on an entirely new scale. We call it tailored performance at true scale. So this means that every data flow, every token delivery that needs to happen in the network should get the performance it needs when it needs it. And this is a massive orchestration effort, and AI will be foundational in solving that problem. So that was a little bit on where we are and where we're going with networks. But then, as I said, we see that networks will be one of the foundational pillars in what we call the intelligent fabric. AI, cloud, and mobile coming together. And this will fuel a lot of new use cases. We see them already happening a little bit today. I see them on a daily basis in Silicon Valley. It's super exciting. We see robotics, humanoids, AI-powered glasses, autonomous vehicles, drones, and all this has one thing in common. They are sensing the environment, they are looking at things, they are hearing things, and they want to understand the world. It's physical AI use cases, and what they need to do is to get access to AI compute. They will have some AI compute on board on the device, but not enough for the deep thinking and the real understanding of the world. So this needs to be offloaded onto the network side. And this is where we come to that the networks will have completely new demands on them. Because what we have seen so far has been a lot of humans consuming from the internet, watching your cat videos or whatever you like. Now we will have devices that takes in reality, and they need to upload reality to AI to get the responses and the answers they need. So this will have new demands on the network, a lot more uplink, and 6G will specifically address some of those challenges, but also bounded latency. When these new use cases, they will need the reply on what is happening on a bounded latency cycle. And this is not only bits needing to come back in a certain time, it's actually tokens that needs to come back in a certain time. So things like time to first token and those metrics will be very important. So best networks for AI will be foundational when we build this intelligent fabric. And as we have discussed for quite some time, networks are critical infrastructure. And when we now see this going into this intelligent fabric, that will be more true than ever. This is truly critical infrastructure for societies. And that brings me to the next topic, trust and security. So this being critical infrastructure means that we need to build this with trusted and security in mind from day one. It needs to be built on open and transparent design. It needs to be secure from silicon to software. And we have discussed, or I guess we've all heard about the importance of having AI being trusted and secure. But as we saw on the last slide, there will not be any AI at scale without networks. So if we want AI to be trusted and secure, we also need the networks, the underlying infrastructure, to be trusted and secure. So Ericsson puts a lot of emphasis on this, and as one example, we stood up together with Microsoft. We led the work of standing up the Trusted Tech Alliance, 16 global companies coming together with shared principles on how you bring trusted technology from day one, so to say, from silicon all the way to software and out to the customers. And let me finish off with this. So Ericsson, we fuel a vast majority of the networks here in the US. And we are deeply embedded in the US tech ecosystem now, working on the next generation of networks, but not only a next generation of the networks, but this intelligent fabric coming together across industries, trusted, secure, and ready for the future. Thank you for your attention.